from Trinity Lutheran Church, and he's going to come and give us our words of inspiration. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Brent?
We gather just one day following our Independence Day. It was such a pleasure, and congratulations to all here in Clawson who made that event the event that you wanted it to be and that it really needs to be for our community. I stood in front of Trinity Church on 14 Mile Road to watch the parade as it went by on this great day of civic pride and joy for the community. These are the kinds of days that give us at Trinity such pride that we have been part of Clawson for over 100 years. And yet we grieve tonight for the people of Highland Park, Illinois, where violence attended their Independence Day parade yesterday. I heard on the way in tonight that a seventh person has died from the violence, the shooting at their parade. I grew up in suburban Chicago, and Highland Park is very much like Clawson and our suburban communities here in Metro Detroit. It's so clear that we have so much work to do as a nation when gun violence threatens the peace of our communities. Just last month, you issued the proclamation, Mayor, of National Gun Violence Day to bring to our attention the needs of our communities around this terrible issue. Independence Day is a day to celebrate freedom, a day to give thanks for those who conceived that freedom and those who still work for it, those who sacrifice their life for it, living and even dying to preserve it, those whose toil is that freedom still, that it might come more fully among us and to everyone. Justice and equality under the law, and unity as a people, even as we celebrate our diversities, the many kinds of diversities, including faith diversities. These are American values still to cherish and uphold. So my simple message, thank you for your service, for your sacrifice, for your commitment to good government, to community fun, and to freedom. You remain in our prayers each week at Trinity Church and daily in our homes. May God bless you and the community where we live and serve. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Roll call, please.
Mayor Milan.
Here.
Councilmember Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Sampson.
Here.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Here.
That is a full quorum, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda, but I would like to make an amendment to the agenda to add an item where regarding the 4th of July events, because I'd just like to open the floor for anyone who might want to speak regarding the 4th of July events. If I can get a second?
Second.
Thank you. For approval?
How are we wording this? Are we putting an agenda item for an open public comment or public hearing? How are we doing
No,
this?
we're putting an agenda item for,
In new business?
no, we can add it as just an additional agenda item, may we not? It's just an agenda item,
Just want to know where to put it, that's all.
right? So we'll add it as item 8B. That would be appropriate, correct?
Sure,
Thank you.
that's fine. That's where I just want to know where to put it when I do the minutes.
Got it.
Okay,
Which is right next to new business. You could have won that one. I guess it wouldn't have been a big
I
deal.
wasn't trying to win, Madam Mayor, just suggestions.
I wasn't suggesting it was a tug of war either, so,
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Mayor Milan.
yes.
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you
Great.
for that. Next item on our agenda will be, well, we do need to approve the agenda then, as amended, if I can get a motion for that.
So moved.
Yes, thank you.
Support.
Great, roll call, please.
Mayor Milan.
Yes,
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
We are amended.
great. Now, public comment for items on the agenda. So if you would like to speak about all of the great items on the agenda, which would be this extraordinary entrepreneurial young man, or Penny Lubes, who will be presenting from our Oakland County representative, or if you would like to speak regarding the 4th of July events, now would be the time to do that, if you would like to speak on any of those items.
Now for me?
Sure, if you'd like to,
Sure.
or you can wait. Either way is good.
Michael Paquette, 527 John M. I just stand here in front of you just to thank everybody. We had a great event. To my knowledge, everything went off pretty smooth. We had a lot of people, a lot of happy people. It was just amazing. I watched on the news for all the things that the news people have said, and it was really, really nice. But I would like to thank the city of Clawson, who had an awesome time. Everyone definitely seemed to be very happy about it. Going down the list, I'd like to go to the DPW, Trevor and Ryan and their staff. Oh my gosh, they had to work so hard and fast because this thing was only approved 4 weeks ago, and they had to really get going and get things going. They always keep our city looking good anyway, but they had to put things together for the park and get it ready to show it off. I mean, all I heard was compliments about how good the park looked. Even with the carnival sitting there, it still looked really good. So thank you, the staff, for doing that. I know it was a lot of strain on our police department, the chief and all of his staff, along with outside cities. They had to come in and help, the state police, the mounted police, who else was there? Oakland County Sheriff was there, and they were all made themselves very presently known. It was very nice to see. It's just great that the cities can work back and forth like that. I just think that's awesome. You know, if they need us, we go to them. Back and forth, it really is nice. Even like with the fire department last month when they had to go and help out one of the fires in one of the other cities. That was really great for that. The city manager, Mr. Joe here, he had to jump on, and it was great for him to make sure that it was going to be safe, keep the strain to a minimum. And I know that's a tough job to do when you have a lot of entities pushing and pulling, and it was very tough. And, you know, your Nick was there in your absence while you were gone. And by the way, Nick, that suggestion box, it's still waiting for your $5 bill. And anyway, that worked out really well, by the way. That worked out really well. There was a lot of people that did donate the money to the, especially on the first day. That's when we had it there. That was a great idea. Thank you. Parks and Rec, they did their involvement as well. They had great organization with the DPW. Everything just went really well. To me, it felt very smooth. There were some glitches here and there, but nothing like could have happened, which I felt really didn't happen. So that was great. You always kind of plan for the worst and hope for the best, I think that's the saying. City Council, your support, definitely. I know that it took a while to go through all the works of it and listen to us. You came to our meeting, which we appreciated that. The chief came, Nick was there as well. It was really great to have you guys there to ask plenty of questions. I felt that we answered your questions to the best of our knowledge, and things got to move forward, and it was really, really good. And of course, the mayor, she supported everything along the way, which is really good. Thank you very much. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to be part of our public comments at this time? Then we will close that and move on to the next item, which will be consideration of approving the following consent agenda, which would be minutes of the regular city council meeting held on Tuesday, June 21st, 2022, as presented, and a list of bills in the amount of $55,973.38. It has been brought to my attention that there was an error in a small, just procedural error in the last set of minutes. So it's been recommended that we pull those and they've been adjusted, so they will be corrected moving forward, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I do want to thank Jennifer for being here to take those minutes while I was at conference too. I appreciate that.
Great. So would someone like to make a motion?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda with the corrections necessary for the regular minutes for Tuesday, June 21st, 2022, and bills in the amount of $55,973.38.
Great, thank you. And Mr. Raker, would you like to give us an explanation to the general public why, if someone's listening and they're like, wait, we only have $55,973.38 in expenses at this time, and they're usually at least one more digit?
Yes, Madam Mayor. The reason for that is because to close out the fiscal year ending June 30th, we stopped any acquisitions about 3 weeks prior to.
Great, thank you very much. Okay. Roll-
Who was the second? I didn't catch it.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Did you correct the vote? Because the vote was, the way you showed it, there was only 2 people that voted for it,
I didn't
and one.
do anything with those minutes. I wasn't here. Nick, was that
Are we
caught?
gonna- Are we going to approve them as today, or are we going to approve them next week?
We're,
The motion was to approve with the necessary changes. I was aware of the one change that was brought to my attention.
If you look at it, it has 2 of us voting yes, and the mayor voting no. And in that meeting, everything had to be all 3 of us, because there was only 3 of us. And they had 2 voting yes, and the motion passed. You can't have that.
well, good time to think about it, because this is how it played out, if I recall correctly. But we did make the second motion, right? We made
Yes,
2.
this is the second motion that,
The second motion has all 3 names.
okay.
Take your time, let's make sure they're right.
Okay, that'll work.
Is that okay? Okay.
But it'll reflect the right.
Yeah.
We'll have it all. The motion includes the changes necessary to make it correct, so,
Thank you.
no problem. Thank you. Councilmember Sampson?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd? Yes. Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
Yes, thank you.
Take care of that. Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda is a presentation by our Oakland County Commissioner Penny Lubes in recognition of Clawson resident Dalton McConkey.
Hi, thank you, Mayor and Council. It is a pleasure to be here with a proclamation on behalf of Dalton McConkey. So Dalton is one of our enterprising entrepreneurs in Oakland County, and we want to recognize you for that because you, in fact, are making Oakland County, you're making Clawson a better place for people to live in. You are helping the community, and in fact, you started a business when you were in grade school. Started mowing lawns, pulling your equipment in a wagon,
Mom.
going to your neighbors, and soliciting jobs. And that has continued to today where you're in 8th grade and you have your own business, Dalton Lawn Services. So you've also expanded not just lawn services, but to snow shoveling. And we do appreciate and recognize your success and thank you for what you have done for Clawson. I would also like to acknowledge one of your customers and friends, Linda Morrell, who is a neighbor and who has praised your work, that you work consistently, you show up, and your work is a quality product. So we appreciate that also. On behalf of Oakland County, I would like to present you a proclamation of the great work you have done on behalf of the rest of us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Is there anything you'd like to say? You could say thank you loudly.
I just wanted to say thank you to Linda for nominating me to get this award, and that's about it.
All right. Great job. So, thank you. And I know, would you like to come up and take your picture with your family?
Sure.
Okay. So, I'm going to go up also, and I would like to invite Linda to come up also. Yes, because she was the stimulus for all this fabulous happening.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much for raising such a great son. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Dalton, I was hearing a story about you the other day. We were at the park. Yeah, we were at the park, and we were discussing that this was going to come before us today. And one of Linda's things that she said was she was so impressed that you returned, right? You sent out flyers, and you actually kept coming back. And the one day you showed up with a shirt with your name on it, like a full-fledged business. You've grown, and people notice, just so you know.
I hope you're ready. Help us free advertising, young man.
That's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Council Member, or Commissioner Leaves, for bringing this before us. We're always excited to celebrate something positive here in our city. So next item on the agenda, like I said, I just wanted to put an item on the agenda where we could discuss the 4th of July events, and I just wanted to give the opportunity to council to maybe say whatever you thought about the events before it's outside of our window, right? We just went through a busy week, a lot of activities. All of our city staff was fully engaged. Our residents were fully engaged. People from out of town praised the activities that they saw. They enjoyed the parade. They enjoyed the carnival. The art fair was great, and they enjoyed being able to get back together. So I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to share maybe your highlights or give thanks to this really hardworking committee. I'd like to do it again in a formal version, but I didn't want it to get past today because the excitement is still there, and you guys are on the high, ready to crash. So let's get you before you crash, right? Councilmember Shepherd, I'll allow you.
It was a marvelous experience from the start with being in the parade, and appreciate Bonnie for having us quickly get together. The CYBSL group, from what I understand, they've never been in the parade before. And as everybody knows, baseball is near and dear to my heart. So especially after our Mustang division had won the Tri-City Championship, that I was hoping that they'd bring their trophy, but unfortunately, I believe most were on vacation. So, but we had enough of the boys and girls from CYBSL put on their uniforms and have a blast. And that was really, really fun. We were able to get over to the carnival event, and we were able to have that experience. We had a friend that was a judge for the hot dog eating contest. That was fun, and no, that was really, really great. The only thing that we were over by Baker later in the evening before the fireworks. So the fireworks were tremendous, absolutely tremendous. But one thing that happened, and I want to try to get this addressed so that doesn't happen in the future, right? Because again, there's some glitches, right? We understand we haven't done this in 3 years, right? So, but I wanted one thing that happened to us. So again, baseball's a big thing. So we were over Baker Field, and as we're playing baseball, a lot of latecomers to try and find parking started jumping the parking lot curb and driving into the field area and the DPW area. And I did not want to get engaged with some of the folks, but I did tell them, this is not parking. We appreciate you coming here. We want you to have fun, but also respect our community, and that this is not a parking area. And once they were ignored, I thought for sure that the foul balls that I was making off my bat may have kind of like waken them up that maybe they shouldn't park there. But again, people want to have fun, and I get that. So I did mention, and I was able to get the state police to come in, and they were able to stop the folks that were driving onto the field that could cause some further damage to our baseball facilities, which we have to try and maintain as best as possible. I know DPW has done a tremendous job of getting all of our fields in tip-top shape, and that was one thing I didn't want to see happen. The other thing is that there was a fire hydrant that was blocked. Now, people should know at this age, if they have a driver's license, that the yellow means don't park, and by the way, there's a fire hydrant, right? But I don't know if we need additional signage for the park by Baker, or for the fire hydrants and so forth. But I'd like to see that something that we can address I guess, again, this is just so positive experience, but I also want to make sure that, that we can build on what happened, positive, and whatever there may be negative, and just make sure that if there was something that we can improve on, right? Because it's been a while. So I'd like to see lessons learned, and see if we can try to just make sure that we've got pros and cons, and if there's cons, what can we do to improve on that? At this point, I would like to make a motion that we have lessons learned, or I guess an after action, just as a report on what we can do. So I'd like to.
I'll support that.
Okay.
We'd like to do it as a workshop, I think. Or you want to do it as a meeting?
Well, I guess I'd like to have it as, let's see, well, it's a summertime, so by, I don't know, the end of August, if that's something that we can try and do.
Mr. Briquette, when would you be ready?
I think, is this something separate than what we're doing with you already, Joe?
If I may.
Sure, absolutely.
So I was calling for an after-action, kind of like debrief meeting, and from that, we can generate a report and do a presentation to council.
Oh, okay.
if
I
you'd
think we'd
like.
like to be involved a
Like to
little
be a
bit.
part of it?
Sure, sure. And we can then put that as part of the feedback as well in the final report if you'd like. But I think we have to bring something to you first, is what I'm kind of thinking, as far as our interaction with the stakeholders, and then, hey, these are our findings. What additionally does council have to add to this?
Sure.
I think we'd like to be part of it. I think we'd like to be part of the sit-down.
We got a motion to have you want to make it a workshop? That'd be the
We
best.
can do that too.
Yeah, well, I can add on to my motion to have it be a workshop. That's,
That makes sense. I mean, that's fine.
So we're kind of tracking for next Thursday.
He said Monday is better for him, I know that soon. I don't know if everybody's a week from yesterday, this upcoming Monday.
I know everybody works. I don't work on Mondays, but I work until 7:30 every night. So 7:30 is kind of a late time, I know, for everybody. Maybe it isn't, I don't know.
We can just bolt it on to the next city council meeting.
that'll work, at least for me.
2 o'clock.
I can have one internally with the department heads and then bring those findings to that meeting. So we'll just forego
It
the
would be
meeting for
after
the
the
two of you
meeting?
then.
It'd be after the meeting?
Heard me?
Would be after our meeting?
Whatever the pleasure of council
Because
is.
you
What time?
can't make it until,
What time, Mike, on Monday, could you, Michael, I'm sorry.
I'm off all day. 2 o'clock on is good. I know Bonnie had just said 2. We were just actually discussing it right now. So
Why don't you-
we picked the time at 2, but it was gonna be up to the board who's directing it.
So if council wants to be involved, my suggestion would be just to simply have it at the next council meeting. We can do that if you'd like, if it fits Mr. Paquette and Ms. Swoop's schedule.
That would be next Tuesday then.
Or,
No.
2 weeks.
Or you could set the time for Monday, and whomever can attend will
Yeah.
attend. Let's just do that. Would that be okay with
next
you?
Monday's all right with me.
Next Monday.
Like whoever's, like,
Before I have-
we don't want to hold up this. Like, it's important to do this kind of a debriefing right away, because little things get missed when the longer you wait.
Oh,
and been
absolutely.
involved
That's
in
why I
it.
wanted to make sure that we're.
Right.
Next Monday is, yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so you set the time, and then those of us who can make it will make it. It doesn't necessarily have to be all of council, but I just know we all feel extremely invested at this point, the way things played out this year. Fortunately, everyone worked towards the good, and I think we're all really proud of that, and just want to ensure moving forward that things remain the same, right? And let's just come together and celebrate the good, and then do that tick sheet of anything that needs a little bit of tweaking moving forward. This was a building back better plan, 100%. It was like starting over with a lot of new people, and I personally am so grateful that we had 3 days, well, a whole week full of events that were safe and people just went home happy for. And I think we were really blessed to have that, because clearly every community didn't get that. But let's do our community thing, come together, and then build a list together. Mr. Raker can work with his people moving forward, and work with the committee moving forward, but it'll be fresh and we can just move on, if that's all right with everyone.
The 11th in the evening?
No, we're talking Monday. I don't know what the date
That's
is.
the
Is that
11th.
Monday?
Yes, that is the 11th.
Mornings or evenings?
It's up to you.
We're open.
Council, what's your pleasure?
Evening for me.
Evening.
All right, Monday evening,
And that would be,
the 11th.
6:30.
You can be later.
Can work.
That's fine.
you guys go.
It's
It's your only day off, you call it.
6:43. No, 6 o'clock's fine for me, that's good.
Mayor, can you make it 6 o'clock?
If I can.
I'll-
If I
I'll-
can't, I won't be
All right.
here, but if I can, I will be here. That's just how I play that one.
It's a workshop, so
Yeah.
we'll be there, but yeah, that may be tight.
Yeah,
But
it's okay.
yeah.
I don't want it to be predicated on my schedule, so. But I do want it to happen like this if that's possible, and I do appreciate everyone's conceding to that. I think it's important for this. So we're good? Do we need to do anything?
6
else?
PM on the 11th, workshop. The motion was in the second? Okay, making sure. Wait, Councilman Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Mayor Milan.
Yes.
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes.
We'll see you on Monday.
Okay, Councilmember Sampson, your turn. If you have anything you'd like to,
I think you guys did a fabulous job. That's all I can say. It's the best I've ever, everything was well organized. I liked it. So we're all going to have things that we want to improve on, but it was great.
Look forward to hearing all the improvements that-
Yeah. And we haven't done it in a long time, so. Things I think I heard were things that we just forgot that we already did before, but it was a great time. It was a ball.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yeah, I agree. I was pretty impressed with how it all went off. You know, whenever you have a tradition, all of a sudden you've stopped it for 3 years. Restarting is very difficult for anything, and I was pretty impressed. So.
Mr. Baker, do you want to add anything?
Sure. I would say that as the outsider coming to this community and hearing about how incredible this 4th of July event is, you cannot appreciate it and understand it until you experience it. So I made myself available to observe everything. And I would say 99% of it is absolutely fantastic. So, as the city manager, I have my apprehensions of a lot of people and congested spaces, and I have to think safety. I want to thank very specifically the volunteers of the 4th of July Committee, the State of Michigan Police, the Oakland County Sheriffs, the City of Troy Police and Fire, as well as the police departments of Royal Oak, Madison Heights, Hazel Park, and Berkeley. And especially to Sergeant Dave Scott, who really was the broker of intelligence and information as far as the coordination of all these agencies working together to ensure that the thousands and thousands of people that converged on Clawson had an enjoyable, memorable, and safe event. And that was what was most important to me. So thank you for everyone's efforts.
And thanks for walking in the kitty parade with us.
And we do appreciate, Mr. Baker, your diligence in ensuring that we did have a safe event. When you slowed things down a little, we understood that it wasn't because you were slowing things down. You were just getting a vantage point to make sure that we were doing things appropriately, and that's what we have you for, and that's what we have our police department for, and we really do appreciate that, because an event like this would not be worth anyone's fun if something horrible came about that we could have prevented. But thankfully, we, in the past week, have had a concert in the park, a kiddie bike parade, both that were amazingly attended. That bike parade was larger than I've ever seen. The concert in the park was amazing. The carnival, of course, every day. And I walked through it every day, and I didn't hear any meltdowns like you hear at Disney. So I thought that was really good right there. The water battle, where our own firefighter were the victors. You can't beat that. The music in the pavilion, with or without, or music in the park, with or without a pavilion, was exceptional. The fireworks, especially the false ending that turned into a spectacular finale that had all the people around me going, "Oh my gosh, did you know this was going to happen? This was amazing." People were amazed, and that was great. And then, again, we were just building something from the scratch with a group of people, partly tenured, but not 100% tenured at the roles and responsibilities that they had. There are so many people to thank. I think we would miss, the list has been gone around and around, and if you weren't on it, know that everyone's participation made a difference. If you were in the parade, it made a difference. If you attended the parade, it made a difference. And for those of you who came to the carnival and supported with your dollars to help pay for the fireworks again next year, thank you. So I have nothing else. If anyone else want to add anything to
I
this?
promised to walk next time after. I couldn't do it this year. I just couldn't do it.
It worked out fine. Everyone was well represented. Right. And Nick, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to miss you. You were such an integral part of getting this going. Would you like to add anything?
No, I just think it was a tremendous event, and we can't say enough how important all of our public safety officers did, and everything our public works as well. You know, they spent hours at the park preparing it, and it was just a tremendous event.
It was, one other thing, I talked about not hearing the Disney cry throughout the carnival. The police officers and the DPW officers were amazing because they all had smiles on their face. And I don't care if it was, I don't know what time the fireworks got over last night, whatever time the fireworks got over, plus 25 minutes when I left the area, or if it was the nights when the carnival was closing up. Everyone was tired, fatigued for sure, but happy to be part of something that was uniquely Clawson and successful. So again, last time, thank you. So to move on, we have no new business today. We have no old unfinished business today. So we'll move to public comments for items not on the agenda. Joan, I see you and I know what you're going to say, I think.
Probably do.
Probably.
Yes. Just want to remind everybody that the 4th isn't over. We have our final celebration, which is Sentiment in the Street, on next Saturday, the 9th, and our movie is Sing. So the street closes at 4:30. The fire department is there, as always, filling up the water ballast to hold that giant screen down and in place. And then starting at 6:30, we have karaoke in the street. So, warm up your pipes, get ready to sing. And then we also have the Frozen T-shirt contest. So we used to do that at the block party a long time ago. We have Triple Thread donated some T-shirts. You roll them up, we get them nice and wet, and we freeze them really hard. And the first person to open that shirt up and get it on wins a really nice gift bag of some things. So first 24 people are in the game. So I know you're getting ready, right?
I was just thinking that is not at all what I was thinking a Frozen T-shirt contest might be, but I'm kind of relieved, I guess. I don't know, family-friendly event.
And it's the first year we did it, I thought it would be much easier, but they are frozen solid ice blocks, and it takes a little bit of work to open those, and it's amazing how hard people work to smash those and get them open and get them on, but it's a lot of fun to watch. I really want to applaud the 4th of July committee. I don't think people realize they work all year long to make this happen. Volunteers, they do an amazing job. And I thought it was really nice that even the carnival crew was out this morning cleaning up. And that is pretty nice. They aren't paid to do that, but that was really nice of them. They were picking up trash. So great job to everybody who did that. Also, I just kind of want to make a mention. We're going to have a presentation later, but our benches downtown are looking pretty nice right now. They had some rust on them, and an Eagle Scout project cleaned those all up. They are newly painted. They look beautiful. And just kind of a thanks to Troy Engel and Gills Collision who helped him do that. He'll be coming here and making a presentation, but you really can't say too many times when somebody does something nice. So just wanted to give a little bit of another shout out to a great job for that. So, and that was it. So I hope we all see you on the 9th singing.
Why not? You guys, we could do a little quartet.
Do a little barbershop thing going on. Be fine. Okay.
I can't carry a tune if it was in a satchel.
In a bucket, yeah. Well,
Although I
okay.
saw it's going to be 78 and sunny, so
I did glance at the weather finally,
paid
and I
somebody off.
really try not to look, but it said 5% chance of rain, but we'll see. So hopefully it's going to be a great night, and we have a nice crowd sitting outside watching a movie outside. It's a lot of fun. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, and for those watching who may not know, that was Joan Horton, our DDA director.
Yes.
And when we say you can never give thanks to someone for doing enough nice things, Joan, you should be on the list all the time because you're always working hard for this community, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of you.
Okay, is there anyone else then who has anything for public comment tonight? If not, then I will close public comment. And the next item on the agenda would be a city attorney's report, but since we do not have a city attorney this evening, that will be really brief / non-existent, and we'll move on to the city manager's report.
Yes, ma'am, I just have one announcement. Starting approximately August 1st, the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center Census team workers will be going door to door in Clawson to verify compliance with the Michigan State Dog Law of 1919 that requires all dogs to have a valid dog license. This law was enacted to ensure that all dogs have current rabies vaccination and is done to fortify the public safety.
Great, thank you. Any questions for our city manager? No? Okay, then let's move on to city council comments. Councilmember Shepherd.
Just again, congratulations to the 4th of July committee. I can't, it was such a relief. And we had friends that missed an opportunity to get out of state, and they asked us to share the experience with them. They're relatively new to the area, and they just couldn't say enough about how much fun they had. So again, congratulations and thank you.
Councilmember Sampson?
None at this moment.
All right, Councilmember Anderson.
Yeah, as far as 4th of July is concerned, I was very relieved to see that they started up with, say, relatively few hiccups, which is really a real credit to all of you. I know I had some friends come over. Every year we've got people coming over and watching fireworks. And some friends came over that had never seen it, and they were just like in awe because they'd seen other cities' fireworks, and they're like, wow, we didn't know it could be this good. So I just really want to share that with you and let you know that your efforts are appreciated. I'm also glad that we're going to do a roundtable or debrief, workshop, whatever, to wrap up, just to tweak a few things. I know we received an email about 6 o'clock from a resident who's concerned about some parking safety issues. I think we need to address those. But by and large, I'm really quite happy with what happened.
Okay, thank you. I should have discussed this with the city manager when he was having his report, but I would appreciate, and I'm assuming council will join me in this, if there are items that will be going for a special meeting, I would appreciate if you would consider requesting meetings prior to placing them on the agenda. We are obligated to be here for a regular meeting, and of course, we will be here for that. But presuming that we want to have 2 closed-door meetings following a regular meeting, such as we have on the calendar tonight, is something that I feel like in the past, it has always been, the city administration has asked us if we want to do that, if we want to hold a meeting after a meeting, and we haven't had a lot of them, but I would just appreciate moving forward if that would be a process, and that it wasn't just be assumed that we are going to want to do that. Does anyone else care? Just for courtesy, people, that's it, just for courtesy.
I don't care.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay, great, thanks. Then also, the library has some events coming out. There is a Beach in a Bottle sand art. It says, "The beach is calling. Register for a time slot to make your own colorful sand art creation." This outdoor event will take place in the park next to the library on Thursday, July 14th between 10:30 and noon. Space is limited and registration is required, so call the library to make that registration. The summer concert series, which is brought to you by the Friends of the Blair Memorial Library, will continue on Monday, August 15th from 7 to 8:15 with Matthew Ball performing American Songbook favorites from New Orleans and the swing dance era. It's a free event, open to public, family and friends. Bring your blanket or a lawn chair. And then on Saturday, July 9th, we have the movie Sing. Don't forget about that. And then on July 10th, music by Craft. I was trying to think of craft in the phrase, right? Craft and Farmers Market at the park. Music that week is by Sean Nasri and the Greater Alexander. The Oakland County Nature Table will be there, and there will be a free yoga class by Marilyn Bird at 10:30 a.m. So if you're out and about, you might want to check that out. And then also, it's not too early to begin thinking of the Lions Car Show. This year, this will be the 24th annual Down on Main Street Car Show. It is Saturday, August 13th. All proceeds from the event go to Leader Dogs and for the Blind and many other charities and projects supported by the Clawson Lions Club. Registration and sponsorship opportunities are probably available on their website. So if you have a car, you want to get in there, or you just want to help them out by sponsoring something, contact the Clausen Lions. And that's all I have for that. Now, we have two other items, which would be consideration of going into a closed session. So the first one is consideration of going into closed session pursuant to MCL 15.268H, MSA 4.180018A, to conduct the periodic evaluation of the city clerk. And I am going to make a motion that we postpone this because upon a lot of consideration, and I know we've done this to you once, but I'm not content with the materials that we have, and this is not criticism, but we have kind of an opportunity for people to send in their praises, because that's all I would expect to get, regarding his performance throughout the city. And for that reason, I'd like to push it back about a month. I've contacted MML, and I'm trying to see if there are some documents that are available from other communities who have city clerks.
I did that. Didn't I send you a clerk
Yes,
one?
as a
It was
matter
very
of fact,
specific to
on
clerks.
both emails.
The one we have was the
Yes.
one for the city manager.
It's not, it's for the city. I explained in my email that the one that council had referenced was specific to the city manager.
Right.
After conversing with Mr. Gitschlag, he suggested a tool which we agreed upon, and I shared that with you guys on the 7th of June, and then also for this meeting as well.
Okay, well, then I'm negligent, because I just assumed it was the same document that we had before, which
it's
was for the
clerk-specific.
city manager, and I didn't think that was doing you fair service, so.
We
then-
thought the same when we saw that
And that's why we
that
changed
document.
Yeah, and I remember the conversation, but I thought it stayed the same, right? So my problem in comprehension, apparently. But would you mind if we postpone it? Because I'd like to be prepared. I didn't pay any attention to that document that's in there if it's a different document. Pretty familiar with the other document.
Pleasure of council.
Would anyone else mind? Because it would be nice to give him a full, fair review, unless you guys are fully versed on this, and I'll just sit there quietly, but that's not really great.
I don't think you'd sit there quietly.
What are you saying? I am more than, I can sit quiet. It's just not usually a good thing for people in the room.
So by the next meeting,
Yeah, I mean, I can read a document by next
sure,
meeting,
I was
sure.
just saying, just making
Yeah.
sure.
But I really would like to get input, so I haven't figured out how to do that. I was thinking about it last week, and then I would like to get some input from people who also are stakeholders in what he does. I think it would be really nice for him, and I think it would be nice for all of us to kind of piece things together. And I see you looking at each other. Is there something wrong? No?
I was just looking.
Great. So will anyone support me in this, or do you want to go ahead and continue without
What
me?
you do is make the motion to go in a closed session, and don't vote to go in a closed session, because it takes all four of us. And then we have to meet next week.
Well,
we can-
I needed to give a reason why I didn't want to go into
Okay,
closed
sure.
session.
Do it that way, it's quicker.
Go ahead, make the motion.
Make a motion, we go in a closed session to evaluate the city clerk.
So I thought you made a motion, Madam Mayor, to postpone.
It never matters what I say here.
But it didn't
so
get
just go
seconded,
by
so
what
it
he
did.
says. It's
So,
okay.
okay, so it's motion to
switching
go into
gears
closed
again.
session like it's on the agenda.
There's always a better way. Work in progress. Building back better. Again. Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Anderson.
This, of course, we're voting whether we're going to go in or not. Okay, so no.
Mayor Milan.
No.
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
No.
Thank you. And August, please know this is because we like you. We want to review you well.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I'll keep telling myself.
You're going to show up tomorrow either way. Aren't you? Wait, aren't you? Okay, and then next thing on the agenda then will be a consideration of going into closed session to discuss the litigation for the George Paul Georges versus Clausen City Council in the city of Clausen in accordance with MCL 15.268, Section 8E of the Open Meetings Act and the Freedom of Information Act, MCL 15.243, Section 13.1G. Would anyone like to?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Milan.
Yes.
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Session at 8:15.
Our attorneys here would it be appropriate for you to make a brief statement about why we're going into closed session for those who are going, what's going on, what's going to happen? And then I want to say, once we do go into closed session, we will be coming back here to close up the meeting. If you would like to stay here and watch us close up the meeting, you're welcome to. Otherwise, thank you all for participating tonight. Thank you so much, Dalton, for being a great Clausonian, and for his parents and his grandparents for being here to support him, and for Mike and Bonnie. Again, thank you, and for everyone else who's here. We just appreciate our community a lot. It takes everyone to be who we are, and we do appreciate you. Now,
Thank you so much. Yeah, so the purpose of today's closed session is to review some writings, which are part of attorney-client work privilege, and it's part of an ongoing settlement negotiation. So we have had some settlement negotiations. Some terms have been reduced to actual draft writings, and that's what we need to go into closed session to review at this point. I know I gave you an update the last time. You gave the brief update. The regular case the case always continues in its normal path, so that doesn't stop. And so we've got a path going forward where there'll be case evaluation. That'll happen. But while that's happening, and just because things happen, like witness list gets filed, stuff like that gets filed, doesn't mean that we're not still trying to pursue a potential resolution to this matter. So I think hopefully that clarifies it for some of the residents, that if they see, I know there's people that check the dockets and they say, wait a minute, something's filed, does that mean we're not talking anymore? No, it's two completely kind of separate avenues that continue.
okay, great. Then with that, we are going to go into closed session right now, and thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Okay, we are back from our closed session regarding the George Paul Georges versus Clausen City Council, and we made no decisions, no determinations, and I would like to call for a closure of meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Councilman Shepherd,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Milan,
Yes.
Sampson.
Yep.
Adjourned at 9:03, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very